I've started gutting this thing out, cutting everything out that I want to save, that I'm going to sell. I tore off the, or unbolted I should say, the rear bumper. I pulled the locks out of it. I pulled the quarter panel extensions for the taillights. I want to keep the lock set out of it for my 78 4-speed because that one doesn't have a complete lock set. You know, this car was worked on back in the day, like I mentioned. I think the original color of this car was white, but what I discovered with this car when I started digging into it is this was an original bench seat car. And when I ripped out the carpet to cut the bucket seat brackets out of the floor, you can tell that they were tack welded in and they weren't spot welded in from the factory. So this was an original bench seat car, and back in the day when the guy put money into this car, putting the engine in it, he had this converted over to bucket seats and console. It has a silver door, and on the driver's side it has a blue door. And you can see what the condition of this car was in. When I lifted up the carpet, this is pretty much what the floor looked like, other than cutting it a little bit right here so I can start cutting the exhaust off. When I pull the motor, I already cut the back part of the exhaust off right there. So here's where I cut the brackets out of the floor. I'm already filling it up with trash. I got all the door panels and stuff sitting back there. I got the Cavalier transmission and torque converter sitting here. So there's the console, the driver's bucket seat. I have the other bucket seat sitting in the 84 Silverado just because I can't fit it in here anymore. But I'm selling these parts. They're not the greatest, but you know, they can be used for someone's car. They can be recovered. You know, if someone wants to use them for one of the dub cars. I know that they don't use the most of the guys that do the dub cars. They don't use the original fabric. They recover the seats with something custom. So they're good seats for, you know, something custom if you want to do that. This dash surround is in good shape, believe it or not. There's the sport mirrors, quarter panel extensions. I'm giving the sport mirrors to my friend. Here's the blue door, driver's side. So this car had doors put on it. I'm gonna sell the wheels. So, you know, pretty much this is the current condition of the 78. I'm still gonna take the steering wheel. I think I'm gonna use the steering wheel on my 84 Silverado, and I'm gonna pull the column out of this thing. I might pull the heater box out of it. So I started pulling the controls out of it, but you know, this thing is in obviously rough shape. When I lifted up the carpet, there wasn't nothing left of the floor. So I used a Sawzall to cut the brackets out of the floor for the bucket seats and for the console. Selling all that stuff on Craigslist. Took the front bumper off. I got a guy who's buying the front and rear bumper. So that's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing left on this car that I'm taking off the wheels, pulling the engine and tranny and a few odds and ends, and this car is ready for the scrapper. Have a little fun with the hammer. So that's it. It's got hornet's nests all over the thing. I need a can of bug spray every time I work on it. That's it though. Just thought I'd give a quick update on the disassembly of the 78.